Pounders, happy early 4th of July. We were going to attempt to fill a sprint, just hoping we got a little lucky with the numbers. And it's looking like one just filled. Shout out to Jewish McCaffrey. We tried our hardest. However, the party doesn't stop there. We are going to be doing an eliminator. So if the sprint fills, we will do it. We have an hour and 10 minutes I'm going to leave this up for. So if someone wants to join the sprint, we will swap over to that contest. It will be our first entry into that contest. And something that I've been looking at is strength of schedule for the playoff weeks. Something that you probably should be weighing pretty heavily. Atlanta, Detroit, some teams that I'm definitely going to be pushing up in that contest. So I do want to get into that contest. However, tonight, we might have to change the thummy. We might have to. But we will be doing an eliminator, at least for the meantime. So as we wait for that to fill, and we have BBM number 50 on the horizon. And as we start to go through our portfolio, looking at our playoff weeks that we're actually targeting, using Josh's newest graphs over at bestballoverlay.com, promo code all caps pounders for 33% off. Just fully digest your portfolio right away. This will be fully live in a few days. Just being able to break down which playoff games your portfolio is targeting, QB, stacks, bringbacks, is just in the blink of an eye. I'm like, wow, like I have to fix this Green Bay, Minnesota number. Luckily, it's only July, early July. Like we have 101 BBMs left. We have plenty of time to fix it. But if this was August, and sometimes you just don't know. It's not easy to break down your own portfolio. So having some of the tools to do that, as well as the overlay, the spreads of the games, the dome games marked, is just like a huge plus. But we are waiting for 4 more in the eliminator. And let me just keep an eye on, I'm going to pull this up just so the sprint's going to be a tough sell. And people are, and I think it's smart to wait a little bit for more news on players, whatever it may be, because the contest isn't filling so fast. But there's not going to be overlay in this contest. Like people think this contest isn't going to fill, or that's why they're not going to push out puppies. Doesn't matter, guys. Like you think about the Dog Bowl, which was a 1-week contest. Like they had 6 days basically to fill the thing or less. It's not that many entrants. It's 2,200. Like it's going to fill. It's 7.3% full right now. It's a nice style contest, and I'm surprised. I think it's because it's new, right? And then because people don't necessarily know how to play it, maybe. And then you have the higher entry point. Like those things all combined makes for a slower fill rate. Now, if they release this contest at like a $10, and then maybe they did a single entry that was like $35, sort of like the Greyhound, and then you made a higher stakes, you ease them into it. But they're taking shots, and I love it. I love the new style contest that they're coming out with. Shout out to Frank, of course. Another day, another draft as my draft neighbor. Frank, welcome to the live stream. He's in the 4 spot. I'm not recognizing anyone else's name. Let's go. Alex Hawkins, this name looks familiar. Might be a YouTube cat. Not YouTube, but Twitter. And if someone else in the live stream snuck into this with us, let me know where you're drafting from. Some hellos, Whiteout Tyler, Smooth Criminal. What's going on, fellas? If you guys are just joining us, go down, slap the like on the live stream. We're on the way to a 24-hour live stream at 2K subscribers. Alex, what's up, baby? Says, in the 8 hole. All right, eliminator. Honestly, I'm Amon-Ra, and I think you can make the case for Amon-Ra at 4 pretty easily. So we'll take him here gladly at 5. A few reasons too, right? Like by week 5, okay, like sure you're not getting by the like the money. What was it, week 7 or 8? You're not doing that with JJ either. Chase Brown, you are. So is he like a little more plus EV? In the mindset, and we've covered this, like in the mindset of someone that wants to min cash, sure, but like fuck that. Fuck that. You gotta focus. You gotta focus. The big prizes, boys. End of season, week 17. You gotta try to make the finals. It's a battle, but Smooth Criminal in the 6 hole. Okay. The source. It looked familiar. It's been a while since you've jumped into a draft with us, I feel like. In the 3 spot, the first eliminator for no good today. All right, so we have some pounders in here. Mike Man, welcome. Puka goes off at 7. Bijan, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Breece Hall still on the board. Goes off at 11. I'd be happy with Breece Hall at 11. I'd be happy with Breece Hall at 11. We see a little Marvin Harrison Ayuk from the 12 spot getting different. And you are seeing a lot of people on the back of like around 11, 12, sort of just try different combos, pulling people up that won't fall to 36, 35, that area. Something I'll do a little more as the contests start to fill. Like if we know this is going to fill in like a week or so, the ADPs aren't going to drastically change. I'm more apt to do that. But you don't know where people are in their portfolio. Like maybe he did 125 drafts, right? He's like, I need something different. Whatever it may be, even if it is a little minus EV. Do you get some EV back for getting a different combination? In some contests. Eliminator, I'm actually a little lower on Marv. I'm just like completely okay with going ADP through the first 2 rounds with the Monron Waddle. I'm completely okay with this. And again, when you get reseeded, it's you're not playing against the whole field. So I don't mind. I like both of these clicks for the eliminator, to be honest. I should set my exposures just to the eliminator. It would take me downloading the CSV real quick. Let's see how fast we can do this. Underdog. I think I have, let's see. How many limbs have we done? 24. And this is a contest I want to do around 100 of them. Now the finals I believe pays 500, so it's a 115 person final. But payouts start at week 8. So like yeah, sure, you need 1 in the finals to get 500. Ooh. Yeah. I know will less people do this because it's 2 bye week 6s? Let's focus getting through bye week 6 now. I don't mind doing this. If we get through bye week 6, I think we're going to have a very, very strong team and potentially different because people are avoiding similar bye weeks within, your first 4 to 5 picks, which is a strategy that we're doing as well. Let's get a little risque here. Okay. Email the exposures. Good. Download. And let's get our eliminator exposures on here. That's what I want to see. Let's go. 21% of Monrod, 25% Waddle, and 21% Cup. Now I got them all the same team. I'm a happy man. Scoot in the house. Eliminator while we wait for a sprint. Yep, the sprint is +9. So as long as we fill this by 8:15, 8:20. So 40 minutes. I'm going to sit on this for 40 minutes. And we'll see if it fills. But yeah, this is an eliminator. And we have 24 entries. Let's just pull up the full exposure list. QB, Deshaun Watson, Levis, Staffy going to be a late QB guy in this contest. A lot of Ty Chandler. This makes sense. Waddle's up there. Godwin's up there. Palmer. Eliminator ass picks, if you would. if you would. I'm actually happy with my exposures. I want to draft more of these. They're just so much fun. Just they don't get the best traffic on the YouTube machine, which I could honestly care less about. Tank Dell, Brendan Ayuk, and Marv. And then he brings in T. Higgins. I like this team. I think it's actually smart to sort of go piss heavy in these contests, especially through the first 5 rounds. You want a minimum 3. And then are late QBs a better value in this contest? That's sort of the way I've been playing it. Late QBs, late tight ends even. In a contest where, sure, the week 17 matters, so you're not going to want 0. I'll eventually mix these guys in, but I do think as they fall, and then as the late QBs rise, I'll just draft more elite QBs towards the end of the fill rate of this contest. We'll grab those early advantages on the late QBs right now. That's basically the main focus for us. Oof. 10 spot goes double elite tight end. The 9 spot goes 3 RBs with Garrett Wilson. All right. We're doing it. We're doing it. Terry McLaurin off the board. Who do we want here? I mean, Josh Allen at 44. Like, if you're going to twist my arm, if you're going to twist my arm here, what are we going to get at pick 53? What are we going to get at pick 53? Like, I like Godwin in that spot. And then do we just double tap RB here and here? Or receiver RB? I'm going to go Josh Allen here. 7 pick fall. We do get yeah, it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Week 17 is all that matters. I love the prize structure of this contest. 100K, 50K, 40K, just a little more flat than, previous years. And I think it is a lot better received. And this is a contest that's going to fill. Like, do they try to slow it down with more puppies? I think we'll see a puppy release in the next few days. I wouldn't be surprised to see a contest released tomorrow for 4th of July. Maybe a rake-free contest. That would be #America. Just saying. +7 if you want to get in the sprint with us. +7. Ben says, happy early 4th pounders. Hell yeah. Yeah, so when we bring in Josh Allen here, like, we are going very, very late QB. Like, maybe Staffy if he falls to, like, the 160, 70 range. Like, that would be a good pairing with Josh Allen. ADP of 153. So maybe we get him here, and we'll see what the landscape is here, and then we'll see who else we add on. Ah, man. Frank, what are we doing? He goes Jaden Reed. Ooh. I know, well, this is obviously going to be a new combo for us because we have 0 Josh Allen. We have 0 Kincaid so far. Do we deviate from our strategy? I mean, we already have. We're going to stop at 2 QBs. We're going to stop at 2 tight ends. Now we have to focus winning the flex. We could bring in a late Jonnu Smith, a late Fant. That's going to be the range that we're going to be targeting for our second tight end when we bring in Kincaid. Now we have to basically go 1 receiver, 2 running backs in the next 3 rounds. That's the way I see it. Maybe we get Josh Allen, Kincaid to push us through week 6. Josh Allen and Baker, another fun combo. Yeah, we'll see if we get. I don't think Godwin's going to slide to us. Just an eliminator-ass pick. And let's see who's to our right. We actually have a sneaky amount of pounders in here. Alex starts with Bijan, goes Devontae Adams, Christian Kirk at 32, eliminator-ass pick. Terry McLaurin and Kyle Pitts. Smooth Criminal in the live stream. JJ, Nico, Diggs, Mark Andrews, and Lamar. Frank is just pissing. Jamar Chase, Debo, DJ Moore, George Pickens, and Jaden Reed. And that's going to be the style draft that I do a lot. You're going to see a lot of these being posted in the Discord as well. And I posted this team, at least the start of it, on the Twitter machine. Let's pull her up. This was an eliminator where we started CeeDee Lamb at 3, luck box, Devontae Adams at 22, and then Debo at 27. Little thin at tight end, which is fine for us. We go 3 late QBs. We don't get to land the plane with Purdy or Daniels or even Bryce Young. They just all get kind of swiped up, but really focusing winning the flex every single week with strong running backs, strong receivers, past ADP. Like even Jordan Addison at 75 with bye week 6. Doesn't match any of the other bye weeks. Maybe a little heavy. Not even that heavy on week 14. Only 3 players and only 3 on week 12, counting 1 QB. So there are different strategies, but I am curious how Frank's team turns out, because this is going to be like my go-to is a heavy amount of receivers through 7 rounds. Then like hitting this range of QB from Kyler to T-Law, even Jared Goff, probably a really good pick in the eliminator. Someone that might not have that elite ceiling, but provides a very good floor every week because of elite pass catchers. I was making you sweat, I think you meant. Yeah, you did. You did. He let the Jaden Reed pick go all the way down, 000s, before he threw up the shot. I honestly wouldn't have cared too much if you sniped us there. Where did D-Hop go? Because this is a sharp pick. I love the D-Hop. I love the Ridley. I usually skip on Ridley because you can get another player in that range and then get a bye week 5 guy later. Wouldn't have been as good for our team because we need that early season production for week 5, week 6 to cover. So we're going to bring in Deontay Johnson here. Again, by week 11, shouldn't run into too many problems with 11. I know we're going to be focusing. We're probably going to be hitting that range of like Singletary, who's going to be by week 11. Going to skip over Jonathan Brooks for most of this contest unless he falls. James Conner, Singletary. So there's not too many minds that we really have to worry about with bye week 11. K-Walk off the board at 71. I have my eye on, and this is a contest that, like, all right, I'm not going to have a ton of Kamara. You guys know I'm fading Kamara. This is a contest that I will be at least at field with Kamara. So I can get my shares of a player that I'm fading in a contest that I think it makes sense. But this Stevenson exposure and then the Najee, these are just going to remain high. Mont, if DeMont was there, we would have gladly gone DeMont. I like him in this contest a lot better than BBM as well. It looks like this. It looks like this. Do we favor the bye week 14 or 9 because we're going to be losing, we're going to lose our QB1, our tight end 1 by week 12, and we'd be giving up our RB1? Oh, yeah, this sprint's filling, baby. Oh, we're doing a sprint tonight. Not clickbait. Hashtag not clickbait. I almost created a new thumbnail. He goes Dima. He goes Stevenson, actually. I think we have to give the tie break to the bye week here. I don't want my RB1, QB1, and tight end one, especially when we spent so much at QB, at tight end. I don't want them all to have the same bye week. So we're going to go bye week 9. Also, bye week 12 is a common week for some of these mid-late RBs. So players like Moss, Chase Brown, Kendre Miller, like I'm going to want to bring in a couple of those guys. So looking ahead, that sort of was built into the equation as well. Ben asks, how have your big board teams been aging? Oh God, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's just pull up the exposures. And geez. I mean, what more could you ask for here? Our top receivers were Burton in the 20th, Roman Wilson, he was a late pick, Malik Washington, Waddle, who started at 40, Mooney picked 240 in some drafts, not being drafted, Ricky. Like I'm excited. Drake London rising from like the mid 40s down to where'd he go? Like 18 at the very end of the big board in that range. I'm stoked. I'm stoked for the big board this year. It is fun to look back at some of those drafts and you're like, okay, this is where sort of going a little lighter on receiver in earlier rounds actually made sense because you could pick up on these guys that were mispriced in the middle rounds, in the middle late rounds, in the late rounds. So getting a ton of Curtis Samuel, a ton of Mooney padded a lot of the rookies. So it sort of mattered on how you built your teams. And it feels like every single free agent receiver smashed. They smashed their landing spots. It was crazy. Now coming back around to us, it is tempting to go a Buffalo receiver if there's one on the board. By week 6, we can't go. This is who we're queuing up for RBs. I think let's just let it play out. Let's let it play out. Let's see what Alex does. He's got a 0-1-5-1 start with Bijan. Nice. Adams, Kirk. What's Kirk's ADP? Of course, it's the one you want to know is blanked out. Like it's different in every contest. He's 42. Okay, that's similar to his BBM ADP. Similar. Alex goes Lockett. Sutton goes. Warren goes. I kind of want to make this work. Ping pong weeks off of Kincaid and Curtis Samuel. But also double tapping RB. Can we get an RB we'd like to fall to us at 116? I think so. Let's do this. Let's do this. I have a plan. Everyone has a plan till the plan breaks down. But this is an eliminator. We are waiting on 2 people for the sprint. And shout out to the people watching on the Twitter machine. It looks like we have about 50 of you guys. If you guys want to pop into the YouTube, hit the link, hit the subscribe. We're on the way to 2K subs for a 24-hour live stream. Yours aren't looking too great? Oh, mine aren't looking great too. I think you meant they are. little autocorrect though will get you. It'll get you. Biggest question is, and I phrase it as biggest on purpose, is how are your biggest boards? Your biggest board teams looking? That was the 3 entry max $100 entry contest. Please someone go Mostert. Frank, what do you want to do here? He goes, I want Jordan Love to pair with Jaden Reed. I agree. Do we just go TP by week 5 or B-Rob by week 14? Let's bring in B-Rob here. Yeah, autocorrect got him. I'll get you every time. Nice. I got Kamani Vidal a lot in the 20th. I was mixing him in a little bit. The Troy thing, not going to lie. The Troy, like, the school kind of throws me off with him still today. But even in the big board and trying to evaluate his talent on tape based on where he's playing, it's tough. Shout out to Adam. What's up, baby? Watch out with that wrench when you turn. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Mostert goes off at 103. And if we didn't have an early bye week 6 problem, we're bringing in Mostert over B-Rob. But 2 of our top 3 picks in the eliminator having the same bye week, you have to tread a little carefully. You have to dance around it a little bit. Big wrench problems. Oh, shit. If anyone wants to jump into the sprint, we're still waiting on 2 people for that to fill. And that will be quite the brain crunch. Having an eliminator contest go off and in a regular style. Trying to be a bye week bro and a week 15 through 17 bro at the same time. My calculator in my head might break. Yeah. I took my first Zeke share in the biggest board. And I quote said, what if he ends up back in Dallas? Like that was the first time. It's weird. I feel like this happens a lot. It's like when you're fading a player, you end up taking them in a high stakes contest and just completely balance out the portfolio. But it was at like 260. It was at like 204 or something. I could pull up the squad. And it was a save pick. It really was. It really was. At least presumably. But that was a live draft reaction. Don't pay attention to the exposures. These are going to be eliminator exposures, not from the big board. Lamar, Kirk Cousins. So we luck out on the bye weeks. That was another thing. We didn't know the bye weeks. Bijan, Aaron Jones, Mostert, Wright with Zeke, AJ Dillon, like whatever. But like we still have our 5 RBs. We're live. We get Zeke at 237. So we picked from the 3 spot. Adams, DK, O'Dunes, Watson, McConkey at 117, Mooney, Ricky at 172, Malik Washington, A.T. Perry with Pitts, Jonnu, and Sanders. Like, so live. So live. I think we just bump up Zeke here. Let's bump up Zeke here by week 7. Zeke should be going a lot earlier in this contest. You could also give Gus Edwards a bump, but I prefer Zeke over Gus just with some of the rushing and receiving work that he can work in. So I think he does have probably a little safer floor where Gus Edwards is probably a little more dependent on touchdowns. Same with Zeke. Yeah, it was such a gross click. I remember it. I remember it like it was today. I was like, that just felt disgusting. It was pick 237. $100 draft. Well, I missed the beginning. Yeah, we're actually, you're just in time. We have a sprint about to fill. We are 0 drafters away. 1 spot every time. Fuck. I swear to God. Frank is next to us again. Frank is next to us again. I can't get away. I can't get away. I can't get away. The algorithm is broken. Shout out to Jewish McCaffrey at 2. FF Links, name is very familiar on the Twitter machine. We have Frank at 5. CMG might be a pounder. Shout out to Neil right next to us. We just got a sandwich. We were sandwiched in between 2 sharps. And I'm not recognizing Henry through the 12 spot. All right, back to being a bye week bro for at least a little. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know. Do we just go Dotson here by week 14? Or do we just go RB? I feel like it's probably Gus Edwards here. Let's bring in Gus here. I'm underexposed to Gus because I'm only taking him after ADP. And I think this is a spot that might actually make sense. If not, we're probably going Goff. Just in this range, it's kind of gross. I want to lean into Kincaid. I want to lean into Josh Allen too. And where we have the stack for Staffy, I'd probably rather just do that. We did it. We did it. Do they ever usually fill this quick? I feel like that wasn't that bad. That was like 30 minutes. Oh yeah. Sorry, baby. Sorry. We're going Amon right here. Let's get, what exposures do I want for this one? Probably just all my exposures for every contest. Upload. Let's do this. Let's go to all tournaments and let's turn on week 15 as well so we can see the spreads for all 3 games. Yeah, look at that Detroit spread. Like these games, you can see it when I hover over 50.5, 49.5, and 48.5. And like that Chicago game especially, like Detroit's gonna be scoring the majority of those points. I was so sad when I saw your tweet, 11 out of 12, and I'm upstairs. It's 3 minutes before my stream starts, and I'm pissing. I'm like, all right, I gotta get in this draft quick. Filling up the water, jump in the draft on my phone, and it just says, waiting on 11. Already created the thumbnail, already said we're going live for the sprint. Just pure sadness hit my face. Pure sadness. But we did it. We're officially sprinting. And if you guys don't already know, this contest is you make the playoffs and it's a cumulative points. Everyone is in it weeks 15 through 17. It's a 3-week contest basically. 3,700 make the finals. So money back basically. You have to finish in the top 2,000. This is gonna be interesting. Oh shit, we're back. What was the plan? I think the plan was Mooney here. Let me check. By week 12, yeah, we're good with it. The other one's Polk. Mooney just seems like such a better click in this contest. So we're gonna do Mooney. This is go get your guys season in this room. All right, here we are with Amon-Ra. Do we just start Amon-Ra? There probably is some sort of appetizing factor for going a little different based on ADP. If you can get to the finals with just a little different type team, I try to think of it as like weekly winners, right? If I can get a player in a similar tier, like if Debo has 3 Debo-like weeks to end the year, I don't see really many people competing with him in this range besides maybe Mike Evans. I think some of the RBs can get you there if they run hot with touchdowns. I like the Malik Neighbors shout by Neil, expecting him to really excel, probably from whatever, like week 6 on, realistically. All right, we're back over here. Adam Thielen seems like a good click. Running backs. Oh, Chandler just goes off the board. I think we're going Thielen here, though. Let's think about it. We're going to bring in Adam T. We're going to push Staffy one more round. If Staffy goes off, like, we still have Bryce Young, and we have this double stack that we can sort of lean into. So Amon-Ra, Waddle, Cup, Deontay Johnson, Curtis Samuel, Darnell Mooney, Adam Thielen. And we'll see who comes back to us. The Puka team. Puka team has 2 QBs. We actually should be pretty close to guaranteed Staffy at 164, unless someone uses him as like an advanced rate piece, which I could also see happening. Here we get Diggs, Josh Allen. Haven't yet truly thought about QBs in this contest versus other contests. I would expect that they would be treated, obviously their ADPs are higher. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 43. Who goes at pick 43? Yeah, I like that range. We're good. We're good with Josh Allen here. I like the 43 range. And again, you're getting access to a ceiling that you can't with late round QBs. So you would really need 3 flat weeks during the playoffs for some of these elite QBs to not separate, or the elite QBs, maybe they just have one of those games where they separate, but how much are they separating by? Like, are they getting a 40-point week, which would be huge in those playoff weeks? And then it's relative to players that are going in that range too, right? So like you'll see years that round 3, a lot of busts. Well, that will help prop up some of the elite QBs as well. But it was between DK or Josh Allen for me in that spot. I just think I'm okay with this range that comes back to us at receiver. That makes me want to do that. I'm not trying to win my money back. I'm a degenerate. I don't even. Does that mean you don't want to win at all? No, I agree. You can't just think about like, oh, how I want to, especially in the eliminator. I'm not going to do this a ton, but I do think you probably should mix it in if it's going to get you different. Because I think some of that EV you lose by having the potential of being out week 6 because 2 of your first 3 picks are by week 6. But there's something a little appetizing that, okay, if I know 90% of the field, 95% of the field aren't going to do that, and then you have to get through by week 6, which is going to be tough. What percent of teams are going to have that combo in week 17? It all comes down to risk reward and your own, whatever you want in your own portfolio too. Your risk management. Don't give me T. Higgs here. You can't, Neil. You can't. I'll be too happy. You don't want to do that. Okay. He's like, I don't want to see Pat happy, so. Christian Kirk or Pickens. In this one, I might just lean Pickens. Oh, God. 5 seconds on the clock, and we get sniped on, let's just go Jaleel. Oh, God. We get sniped on Staffy and Gibson. Realistically, want both. But, damn. The Staffy thing isn't the biggest deal. It goes to the Puka team, so he does bring in 3 QBs, and I'm okay with this actually at these prices. I'm okay with it. So who are we gonna focus as our late QB? Probably Bryce Young, with that double stack in Carolina. Different bye week with the week 11. We have 5 RBs on this team. So this eliminator is a 1-5-7-1. Josh Allen, Najee Harris, B-Rob, Zeke, Gus Edwards, just like floor ass plays. Jaleel McLaughlin, Amon-Ra, Waddle, Cup. Deontay Johnson, Samuel, Mooney, Thielen. And notice how we don't bring in any other bye week 6s. We're trying to stay away from that because of losing 2 of our top 3 receivers. 2-6-8-2 or 2-5-9-2. Najee, B-Rob, Zeke, Gus. Ugh. Michael Wilson by week 11's interesting. They'll give us 3, which isn't the biggest deal. Who do we have there for RBs on the board? 174. Let's go Rashawn Johnson here. Just go get your guys. It's probably gonna be a 2-6-8-2 for the eliminator team. Gotta think on the fly here. Who are the mispriced players in this range? I mean, who has the better chance of going off for the playoff weeks? Let's take a little lean on the KC rookie here. I know, over Keenan Allen, but Willow Dunes have a bigger role come the end of the season is sort of my thought. So is there a chance we get both? Probably not, because we have Neil behind us. And it would require a 5-6 pick drop. But sort of altering the thinking process a little bit in the sprint, where you're looking for that upside, not just in a single game slate, but in 3 games. Yeah, I agree. I'm curious, people in the chat, would you guys have Odunze ranked over Keenan Allen in this contest? Or is that just taking it too far? Is that just going way too far? I'd take Josh Jacobs over both. I don't know. I'm fading Jacobs, but mostly a best ball mania take because I don't think we've necessarily seen the bottom price. It's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. So I will start to mix him in as he falls a little bit from his current ADP. Like he goes to 59 this contest. I'm comfortable taking him there. When it's just him, Rashad White on the board, I think that's a good spot. But yeah, just waiting for him to hit his bottom price before I really dipped in. Noah Fant off the board. Is there a chance we get Jonnu on this roster? That's gonna be the hope. 2-6-8-2. Okay. That's the hope. We'll see if it happens. I see Keenan Allen. Yeah. Keenan early in the season. Right. But in the sprint where it's focused on weeks 15 through 17. This is interesting. Hmm. Let's see what Neil does here. He's got a 0-1-4-0. And where do we want to make our dip at running back? He goes Rashad White. I'm tempted to just go D-Hop here. But fuck, we got Kittle. I mean, we're focusing upside, right, boys? Let's bring in the double stack in San Fran. Let's just bring in the double stack there. How much time do we have? 15 seconds on the clock here. We need a QB in Bryce Young. Let's just click him before he gets sniped. We bring in the double stack with Deontay Johnson and Thielen. Frank brings in Chiggy as his second tight end, who hashtag got to catch up. So we don't get Jonnu to fall. Jonnu goes off to, 3 tight ends. Probably needed. I don't love going 3 and 3 in this contest, but I could see. I like going 3 QBs, 3 late QBs, just for the price, stacking up, winning the flex at running back and receiver, which is not what we did here. Not what we did at all. However, I think we danced around this pretty decently. Zeke's price is the one that's super egregious to me at running back at the 126 spot, like going behind Corum. That doesn't, in the eliminator, that doesn't make much sense to me at all. So this is going to open up Purdy for us. Thing is, we have to keep an eye on the Ayuk team, which is going to be McCaffrey. If we want him, he's going to have 2 shots at him at 95 and 98. Let's come back to that. We need an eliminator as pick right now. Like, bad. Oh, God. Are we giving up by week 12? Sanders is even off the board. Jelani Woods. Do we just go Colby Parkinson? By week 6, I don't really care that it's... Yeah, it's either Colby or Theo Johnson in that spot. Damn, boys. It dried up at tight end. After Ben Sinnott falls, like 20 picks, which is fine. Noah Fant at 181. Jonnu. Realistically, one of those two would have felt really good for this team. We go Bryce Young. Someone could have gone. If we go Sanders, does someone just snipe Bryce Young? I think teams are more apt to do that in this contest where you can just use them as advance rate pieces. Hurst is an option. It's an option. It's just like, how many years in a row are we just going to make the bet that Hurst hits and he just doesn't? I like the Demont click here. So, but it's fuck. Not when we have a Mon-Ra. Not as much when we have a Mon-Ra. I don't like it as much. Let's go Stevenson. I like Demont if we don't have a Mon-Ra. Leveraging the Gibbs teams, leveraging the Amon-Ra teams, I think is cool with Demont if he can steal some of the touchdowns in those last 3 weeks. However, we're betting on Amon-Ra not falling at the 1-yard line like 2 years ago, multiple times. So let's bring in Stevenson. If Jonathan Brooks comes back around, he's probably going to be our target. And if not, we might just reach up for Curtis Samuel. Right here. Pick 173. This should have been tight end. We could have waited on Rashawn or at least try to push him until 188. But if we do that, if we go tight end here, right, we grab our guy, let's say it's Noah Fant for this team, then we probably can't go Rashawn Johnson here. We probably have to go Bryce Young still. And then this is Rashawn potentially at ADP. That's the way we should have played it. But again, you live and you learn. And lucky for you, you get to learn through my content for free. Uh-oh. What did you do in this room? What did you do? Heisenberg. CeeDee Lamb, Ayuk, Devon Achane, Trey McBride, McLaurin, Rashee Rice. Oh. That's tough. That's tough. He still got the stack, though. Like, that's fine. I have a feeling, like, double stacks, I don't care with Mahomes, but with some of these rushing QBs, I think it's going to be actually very thin in a 3-game slate. Whereas if you're going, like, If you go and Burrow, like Chase and Higgins, like I want to double stack my pocket passers in this contest. I'm not going to be double stacking. And Mahomes is fine. Like he can get there in pass volume if the pass volume's up. Greg Dortch, and this is why we don't go Michael Wilson, is the Dortch click? Or do we just bring in, they're both by week 11. Khalif Raymond's by week 5. Let's just go Khalif. Maybe we get to ping pong some of those down weeks that Amon-Ra has with Khalif Raymond, and we get to advance Amon-Ra in some rooms that maybe some fall off. Okay, so here we're going to get Jonathan Brooks at 91. We get to pad him a little bit with Stevenson if he starts slow. Up in 10 picks. Ideally, we would be getting Curtis Samuel on the way back around for this roster. This is the sprint, boys. If you just joined us, go down, slap the like on the live stream. If you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream at 2K subs. Shout out to Chad, just joined us, GM. Shout out to Roto Run. All right. Frank going off. He goes Njoku and Evan Ingram, his last 2 picks. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Jaden Reed, Kirk, DJ Moore, Waddle, pads it with Bijan. Really like what Frank's doing here. Sutton off the board at 93. And again, you're focusing end of season upside, last 3 weeks. Rice is very interesting to me in this contest. It's 2 out of 12 advanced too, I believe. 2 out of 12, and then it's 3,700 in the finals. You have to finish in the top 2K to win double your money. I know that's where you boys are focusing, double your money. And then just the flat advance, like top 10s, just even top 100, right? Getting 1,000 plus in this contest. That's neat. That's freaking neat. Bowers off the board at 96. And then if you can get different combos, like in weekly winners, I think it's a huge advantage. It's just that contest is open for so long to be reaching for some of those unique combos that, you know, ADPs might change. The landscape could change before the contest fills, and then maybe it's not unique and it's just minus EV. But like towards the end, if you've kept track of where ADPs have been and where they go, if you're able to get different through 3 rounds, then 98% of the field, 99% of the field, like that's a much easier way to win than go ADP, and then get different in like round 12. It's just, yeah, this is quality. Dacker Daniels here, he says, he goes Daniels because this guy hates you. That's exactly why. He's just burning $50 because he hates you so much. Oh my god. Oh my god. But he had another available stack. You win. You win. Oh, I love you so much right now. This room just became a 2 out of 11 advance. Shout out to the 1 spot. All right. Okay. Something fell our way today. It's been rough the last few live streams. Try to push shit and we get punished. Standard. We have Josh Allen, Stevenson, Jonathan Brooks, Amon-Ra, Debo, Pickens, Worthy, Curtis Samuel, and Kittle in the sprint. 4 minutes behind. It happens. It happens. Tyler Lockett goes right after at 103 to Neil's squad. Trey Benson at 104. Ooh, Trey Benson and James Conner. It's not the worst, actually. Can they ping pong weeks? Can Trey Benson have like a Tony Pollard like season when he was in Dallas? That's basically what you're hoping for, in my opinion. You'll be happy with Pickens 140-point week in the playoffs, guaranteed. I don't think it's guaranteed, but I do like Pickens here. We go Pickens over Christian Kirk at 43. Deviate from ADP. I just think that for that reason that he has that ceiling, if he can have 2 ceiling games in a row or near ceiling, again, it's in a way it's sort of like weekly winners where you're looking for that upside. And there's obviously opportunity that comes along with the upside, which I think makes Pickens a really good click in this contest. But yeah, if we were to do separate ADPs for this contest, it would just be extremely different. It'd be extremely different. I mean, we're already making clicks that we don't typically make in Jonathan Brooks. And we get him later. We get him 10 picks later. Like, where's he go in regular best ball? 87. We get him later than his regular best ball price in this contest where you're focusing weeks 15 through 17. I don't know. Neil with a 1-2-6 He goes Wicks. Let's just lean into Buffalo. I like the Singletary click here too, not going to lie. Let's lean into Buffalo. It's kind of like a pseudo 0 RB team. We're up in 10 picks. B-Rob goes at 101. In these ADPs, like, Jewish McCaffrey did warn me. He said, like, these ADPs are unsettled. Like, this contest has its own set of ADPs, and because of the lack of drafting, the movement is probably less. 7.3% full. Yeah, that's when Benson ramps up. That's why I don't fully know how I feel about Benson and James Conner. I mean, their prices aren't ridiculous where they both couldn't hit. But should we be just making the bet on one of them? Although you probably, at the same point, you're probably leveraging a good point of the field that is, if you advance that team that is not doing that. So, seen it work before. It's just interesting. It makes you think. He starts with Breece Hall. He goes 4 receivers. He brings in Stroud to pair with Diggs. He goes 3 RBs and then Caleb. So he's falling behind at receiver. Singletary goes off at 119 to Jewish McCaffrey. Oh, what a beautiful fall from the heavens. Yeah, Adam says it's thin, but it could work. That's sort of the way I see it. Ooh, we try to push the Purds. It's a good pick, and it's a very good pairing with Jaden Daniels as well. And I'm okay with pushing Purdy there because you can have a Debo rushing touchdown week or two. You can have Kittle go off 1 week. You can have Debo go off 1 week. You can still have Josh Allen outscore Purdy. This one will make you think. If we don't have Brooks, like, I do like Nick Chubb in this contest, but I don't think we can afford to go Nick Chubb in this contest right now with Stevenson and Brooks. Let's bring in Zeke here. Still have to advance. It's 2 out of 12. Well, in this room, it's 2 out of 11 because This guy absolutely hates Jewish McCaffrey for sniping him on Rice. But at least he correlates it. He does, he makes it work. He correlates it. He's trying to make it look like it wasn't a snipe, but 3 receivers through 9 rounds is tough. Tough. We definitely catch up at receiver. I'm not likely to do much of this contest, but it seems like a no question hero RB structure. Am I wrong? I just like hero RB in general this year. Like, you can push hero RB to like the ETN range, and I'm good with it. To the Pacheco range if you wanted to. Like, running backs that also leverage elite offenses, elite QBs, elite receivers, tight ends, I'm going to love in this contest, in weekly winners, a lot. Like Pacheco, you're talking about leveraging Kelsey, Mahomes, obviously, Rice, Worthy, Hollywood. You're talking about all those guys in the top 100 picks, all those guys in the top 71 picks. Like, so running backs that leverage elite offenses, that's why I like David Montgomery. But when we have Amon-Ra, you also don't want to leverage your own teammates in a 3-game slate. So that's why we make the switch to Stevenson here. Where were we? Ty Chandler is, I think, a godsend in this spot. I also like Lloyd, but where we don't know if Brooks is going to be healthy for the start of the season or what his workload's going to be, maybe we get a little more work early out of Ty Chandler than we do Lloyd, and that's where we're going to make the tiebreaker. Herbert's ADP is it's insane. And I think this is the eliminator contest. I still have the ADPs up for. I'll have to peek. I need more Herbert regardless. Marshawn Lloyd goes right after. Expected. Is this a... I'm curious. McCaffrey, have you seen people mixing it? I'm assuming yes. Like Justin Fields. If it gets to that point that Justin Fields has to play, you're probably, Pickens is probably going to be a lower advance rate guy anyways. Now, of course, sure, he can hit. Like, we've seen DJ Moore last year hit with Fields. So it's not a 1-for-1 full take. Yeah. But if he only plays 2 of those games, would you still take him? I think it's interesting that actually Russ could be a pretty good pick just from being low owned. It's just those games are tough. Philly lost some pieces on D. Baltimore and KC. Though that's just, that stretch of games is tough. No way. I still believe Herbert lands on another team. Holy spice. Holy spice. We're not ready for that. We're not ready for that. Oh my God, where did he go? Come on, what pick did he go at? 134. That has ADPs actually. What do we want to do here? Kendre Miller seems nice. And we didn't go Kamara too. He's won me 25K before, so he just sketches me. Let's go Kendre here. Russ goes off against Casey. Casey's got a good defense. see. Musgrave goes off at 151. Yeah, we would have liked Pop Douglas. Let's see. We have another idea in mind. Mooney goes off at 153. Komet. There's no chance. There's no chance we get him back. That's being positive. Trying to reverse jinx some shit. Yeah, I didn't like some of the reports I was hearing about Miller and OTAs. You're not going to like the reports about many people coming out of Saints camp. It really comes down to, is he going to steal any work from Kamara this year? Right. Still on the board. Chip in a chair. Chip in a chair. I think leaning into Russ would be sort of fun for this team, where we're already leaning into Pickens too. That's rich. That's rich. Deshaun Watson at 158. Wandell goes at 159. The dream's alive. The dream's alive. You just got to believe. You just got to believe. 2 away. Neil's going to break my heart. Russ might cook against the Chiefs defense playing 3rd game in 10 days. Believe in Ray Davis? Ooh. Ooh. We get Hunter Henry here. And we are sort of leaning into some of this still playoff correlation. Week 16 game against the Pats. We get a Monra for week 15. So correlating all 3 games is kind of interesting in this one. We have Stevenson, so we have the double. I can comfortably stop at 2 tight ends here, in my opinion. Even with even later QB tight ends. Jonnu Smith, I'm comfortable with Kittle. NFL changes kickoff for player safety and then makes Chiefs play 3 games in 10 days. No favoritism. They're like, all right, we gotta do something egregious. Yeah, Henry here at 163. I feel like it's been a while since he's fallen to me in after ADP especially. Yeah, this is we're pretty balanced here. It's probably going to be a 2-6-8-2. Let's see. Stevenson, Brooks, Zeke, Ty Chandler, Miller, excuse me. Would you guys, yeah, we're going to go 9 receivers? I don't think we need 9 receivers. I have an idea. Let's see if he's there. It's worked once before. The biggest question mark is going to be the New England receiving core. It's very busy. I like to make the bet as Baker. But when Bourne's back, he probably... Who's Bourne going to affect the most? Between it, like I think Polk's he's going to be on the field. You're going to have Pop in the slot. It's Javon Baker. Nice. We get Corley here. That's who we wanted. And that's who we're clicking. Let's go. So we actually get to correlate another Buffalo piece, week 17 against the Jets. Another rookie should have a larger role towards the end of the season. Let's go. Surprised he fell to us. Frank brings in Mims. Frank's got a nicely balanced squad as well. T-Law and Tua is a fun combo. Bijan, B-Rob, Lloyd, Gibson, Ray Davis. These are like all hashtag my guys. The Lloyd exposure is low, but we'll catch up. I want to say these are my BBM exposures. No, this is all contests. This is set to all contests. Any details for this 24-hour live stream for 2K subs? I'm hoping that we can get the 2K subs by mid-August, but I'll take off a day. I'm literally going to have a day off towards the end of August, off of work. In worst case, we will do something for the boys because we've made quite the push. But if you want to see the 24-hour full thing, smash the subscribe button. I will fill that show with as many guests as possible. Elijah Mitchell, Braylon Allen, Khalil Herbert. Yeah, Elijah Mitchell would be he'd be worth a lot in this contest, especially if CMC goes down. Like, favorite handcuffs probably in this contest are going to be at price, especially would be Algier. I think he could be worth probably he'd be the best handcuff if the starter goes down. Because who's going to be stealing 40% of the shares from him? No one. Elijah Mitchell, probably my second favorite. You can make the case for Kendre very easily. You can make the case for Ty Chandler, Charbonnet. What percent of the role would Marshawn Lloyd get? I know A.J. Dillon is is dust, but they would still be splitting. And you could see 3 RBs this year still. Come on, baby. Fall to us now. Don't be scared. Ooh. He doesn't go Fant. Interesting. I like Drake May here, too. We have Stevenson. We have Hunter Henry. Ooh. Let's go Drake May. Fuck around and find out. Let's go Drake May. Live a little bit. Oh, my. Maybe a late Kendrick Bourne pick if we're feeling high tea. Okay. Up in 9 picks. Dude, it's been a while since we've been in the middle of the board, too. Like, it feels so different. Like, just go and get your guys. Like, I like being in the middle of the board. This feels good. This feels good. I'll give you a couple. You're sick. You're sick. Get out of here, Adam. Jalen McMillan at 188. Super fun. Rashawn Johnson's probably going to be our click if we didn't go Drake May here. I also like the McMillan click. But now we get to get different. And that's what we like to do. So let's see if we can get one more guy. Just one more guy. 6 picks away. There are just so many sharp people in front of us. That's going to be tough. I can see a 3-headed monster in Green Bay. I think no matter what, like A.J. Dillon's mixing in at 15%. You're probably going to see Jacobs with what? 60? And then you get another 25% from Lloyd, but with the contingent upside that he would take over a majority of the role if Jacobs goes down, but it wouldn't be 80%. I don't think it would even be 70. Somewhere in the range of 60, 65, 35, 40 if Jacobs goes down. It's just AJ Dillon was just so wildly inefficient last year. That's part of the reason for our fade on Jacobs as well. Two picks away. CMG has a 2.581. He had a couple tight ends go off the board right before him. He's forced to go Jaceki. Same bye week. Pairs it with Joe Burrow. He goes Foreman. Okay. I think we're going Will Shipley here. And again, this is how do we leverage an elite offense where we don't have a piece of Philly, right? Philly going to score points. This team says either Barkley goes down or yeah, most likely that's what you need for this one to hit. But I'm fine with that because this could be a very high priced piece in the playoffs if that does happen. So we'll go Shipley here. He is. Oh, he's capable of more. We've seen it. But Green Bay's offense doesn't do that with running backs. Is it because of personnel? Potentially. But they've also spoken about wanting to keep him healthy, even though they know he can be a 3-down guy. He can be out there a lot, 80-20. They want to keep him healthy for the end of season, playoffs, all that. So I think they're just going to fall back to their old ways. They'll use him a little more than Aaron Jones. I think they also like him because wasn't likely to get injured like Aaron Jones is every single year. Aaron Jones, like the Mike Williams, the James Conner types. This contest feels like you have to push through an RB like Shipley, CEH. Yeah, I agree. You want to find ways to leverage elite offenses too. So not having a piece of Philly doesn't feel great, but having a piece of Detroit, San Fran, KC, Buffalo, that does feel good. I feel like it's game script. Oh, definitely. I agree with you, Caleb. It goes that way for a lot of teams. Like you can have a plan. The Patriots. They'd be down like 3 touchdowns running the ball deep into the third quarter last year, so maybe not. Is this Baker or is this Bourne? Because Osborne's also getting some talks. I wouldn't be surprised if Osborne started over Javon Baker this year. And do we like Kendrick Bourne if he's less owned in this contest is another question. It's a bye week 14. We should be able to get through. How many weeks is he? Is he back by week 6 to cover Worthy? Like that's basically all they care about. Let's go Kendrick Bourne, targeting end of season. Live a little bit. What percent will he be owned as well? Like kind of calculating that in. He's not going to be drafted every draft, especially in $50 drafts. Late season push for Kendrick Bourne. We pair a little Stevenson, Kendrick Bourne, and Hunter Henry with a late May. Oh. Swift has a higher snap count, touches, PPR points than Jacobs at the end of the year. Damn, I'm fading Swift too. I like Swift in PPR though. Half PPR is where I'm going to be fading Swift. Oh shit. Andy just coming out here with the flamethrower. My hot take is Jacobs finishes above Barkley. And I can see that. You guys are wild. Hey, if so, like your exposure should match that take. Jewish McCaffrey with Daniels and Purdy. Love the pairing. Floor and ceiling. Achan, Moss, Singletary, Dowdle, Irving, and Estime. CeeDee Lamb, Ayuk, McLaurin, Rice, JSN, Ricky Pearsall, and McCaffrey. Fitting. McBride, Otten, and Jonnu. I don't know if I love the 3 tight ends. You would obviously you're looking for some sort of ping pong. Hero RB build with Achan. I love the QBs. You have double stacks with both. I mean, it's a well balanced team. 5 receivers through JSN. It's just a well balanced squad. If you guys are in this one with me, let me know where you're drafting from if I skip over you. Frank in the 5 spot. Again, draft neighbors. 3 drafts in a row on the live stream. Can't get away from this man. T-Law and Tua. Bijan, B-Rob, Marshawn Lloyd, Antonio Gibson, Ray Davis, and Donta Foreman. It's a nice pairing of RBs. Waddle, DJ Moore, Kirk, Reed, D-Hop, Mims, McMillan, and Malik. I like Malik for this contest too, now that I think about it. Can he beat out Odell, who probably will set Malik back at the start of the season? But can he beat him out by the end of the season? And then Evan Ingram and Njoku is a fun pairing. Strong pairing. Neil next to us at the 7. Jordan Love, Geno Smith, and Daniel Jones. Joe Mixon, White, Gus Edwards, Charbonnet, and Elijah Mitchell. I'm good with that group. JJ, Neighbors, DK, T. Higgs, Christian Watson, Tyler Lockett, Wicks, and Demarcus Robinson. Nice. Yeah, Soup gets stacks with all 3 QBs, double stack with Geno. A triple stack in Green Bay with Musgrave and Sanders. So leaning into, Sanders having either a good rookie year or a little bit of both here at tight end. But I don't mind it. I don't mind being thin at tight end and making bets on 2 guys that hit in those later rounds. Who else was in this draft with us? We definitely had another person. I forget who it was though. Might have been CMG. Burrow and Levis, ETN, Walker, Pollard, McLaughlin, Rashawn. I like this group. Damn. Chase, Nico, Collins, Devonta Smith, Sutton as receiver 4, Judy, AD, Burton, Roman Wilson. Then Kincaid, Gesicki, and Woods. I don't know if you need the Woods pick. By week 12. Maybe he's doing that to cover that, but like Woods could score like no points week 12 or like 4 points. So if it is for the bye week situation where I have an elite tight end and I bring in the second one like Gesicki, I'm just, unless it's correlated, I usually just skip out. I'll just eat the 0 at tight end there. But I like the team bringing some rookies at the end. And FF Links. I know, I think I follow him on the Twitter machine. Justin Herbert and Mayfield. Derrick Henry, Pacheco, Warren, Mostert, Vidal, and Tracy. Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Lab McConkey, Deontay Johnson, Myers, Gabe Davis, and Quentin Johnson getting that double stack with Herbert and Kamani. And then the single stack with Evans. Andrews, Fant, and Chiggy. Gonna have to look back into this, think about it. Do you guys like 3 tight ends in this contest? Like when you're going an elite tight end, like by pick, I draw the line right before Kittle. It probably stops at Pitts. Would you still go 3 tight ends, even if it's not a correlated pick? But appreciate you guys coming out. We did an eliminator to start the night. If you missed that, go back and watch that. We finished off with our first sprint, $50 entry, 2,200 people, and it's 3,700 make the playoffs. Weeks 15 through 17 are cumulative scoring for playing for $100K up top. It's a big prize. So appreciate you guys coming out. If you enjoyed the stream, slap the like, hit the sub. We're on the way to 2K. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Pounders.